Okay? The second thing, and probably more important, is we must persevere. Well, it is more important. We must persevere in our faith. Who's got Hebrews 12? I want you to read verse 1 first and stop. Well, I'll tell you when to stop. Read it loud.
Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses...
Okay, good. Since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses... Now, you guys play basketball, and you probably got 75 people in your student section that cheer on stage, right?
No.
Well, not DCA, but... yeah, DCA's got like 6. But you have a student section... Well... That passage, Hebrews 12:1, therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, I mean, that's throughout history, people that have made it through life with their faith intact in Jesus Christ. So it's millions or billions. Lori, how many do you think?
If we were a golf ball, no.
I thought about bringing some out. Yeah. Let's assume billions, right? There are billions of men and women who have persevered in life and persevered in their faith, and they are now in heaven cheering and rooting you on. And me too. How awesome is that? We are in the middle of a... Let's take Rupp Arena. It holds like 24,000 people, right? Probably not right now. These two suckers stinking. But let's take Rupp Arena, 24,000 people. If you have a golf ball, and you made like 25,000 more Rupp Arenas and put them all together, that would be all the believers watching you. Okay? These are men and women of the faith that were awesome. And they're watching you, and they're cheering you on, and rooting you on, saying, you can do it. Now, guys, if that doesn't get us pumped up, and to me, my pawpaw's there. My pawpaw never saw me become a Christian. My pawpaw never got to see that I ended up in the ministry, or that I got involved in missions, when he was one of the people that was such a great example to me. He did missions all over the place, and was an amazing man of God. But my pawpaw never saw, but he's in heaven. And he's a part of that great cloud of witnesses. Read the rest of it.
Let us throw out everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us. Let us fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith. For the joy set before him endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. Consider him who endured such opposition from sinful men, so that you will not grow weary and lose heart.
Now, we could have done a whole lesson on perseverance from that one section right there. Okay? That is awesome. Jesus is who gets us through life. It says Jesus is the author and perfecter of our faith, so let us fix our eyes on him. The author and perfecter of our faith, that means that he is growing us. He is developing our faith. Who I was 5 years ago or a year ago is not who I am today. I keep my eyes fixed on Jesus, and it's the same for you. You keep your eyes fixed on Jesus, and he will develop your spiritual life. Now, hard times will come. That's promised. That's guaranteed. But when we stay fixed on Jesus, when we fix our eyes on Jesus, he will get us through it. He will come alongside us. He will be in front of us, pulling and leading us on. We will persevere in our faith if we keep our eyes fixed on Jesus. Now, Peter gets out in the water. He's looking at Jesus, and Jesus says, come on out, right? Peter starts walking on the water, and then he starts looking around, and he puts his hands in his clothes, and he's like, all of a sudden, his feet are getting wet, right? His knees are getting wet. Now he's thinking, this isn't so sweet, I think I'm going to drown. And he looks to Jesus and says, Jesus, save me. And Jesus said, I'm here. Pulls him up. When we take our eyes off of Jesus, that's when the world will swamp us with things. That's when we may not persevere in our faith. That's when our faith is in jeopardy. Because not that you're going to lose your faith through your salvation, but that life will throw so much at you. Satan will throw so much at you to try to stumble you up to where you just stop. Where you just stop. And so when we stay fixed on Jesus, it's like, you guys have seen somebody that has a booger in their nose, right? And so they have that booger, and you're talking to them, and is there breathing that's going in and out, and you're just watching it. They turn their head and you're trying to do this, and you're in your head, you're thinking, oh man, should I tell them or not? You just don't know what to say. Should you just get that thing out of there, or should you just let it go and let somebody else deal with it? It's rough, right? But your eyes are fixed on it. You're not leaving it. You're just like, I got to see what happens here. And so they walk away, and you're still watching them, and you're like, oh my gosh, are they going to tell them? That's what we need to do with Jesus. We need to stay so fixed on Him when Jesus moves to the right, when He moves to the left, and when He goes down. We are so close to Him that we don't want anything else. We want to just cling to Jesus' coattails and hang on and stay focused on Him. We will persevere in our faith as we do that. Okay, who's got Romans? Okay, 8:37 through 39.
In all these things, we who are more than conquerors through Him who loved us. For I am convinced that neither death nor life, neither angels nor demons, neither the present nor the future, nor any powers, neither height nor depth, nor anything else in creation will be able to separate us from the love of God that is in Christ Jesus our Lord.
Okay, so when we're persevering in our faith, the first thing is that Jesus is leading us through life. We've got Jesus to help us. Right? The second thing is, nothing created can separate us from the love of God. Nothing that's been created. No other people, no matter how much they may give you a hard time about your faith, nothing can separate you from the love that Christ has for us. That's awesome. And if that doesn't make us want to persevere, then we may need a jump start in our faith. Right? We have got to persevere. And if, one, we know that Jesus is helping us get through life, and two, God will not stop loving us no matter what. But man, that makes us want to get through faith, to get through our life a little bit more with our faith still intact, right? I hope it does. That's what we need. That's what gets me through life. Knowing that God's not going to give up on me, even when I'm a chump, and knowing that Jesus is there for me all the time. So, as we talk about Rocky 4, there's 6 in the series, so we got 2 more lessons after this. Rocky 4, how many of you have seen Rocky 4? How many of you were born after 89? Gosh, I saw it in the movie theaters. Anyway, Rocky 4. The big Russian, Ivan Drago, comes into the scene, and Apollo Creed, you guys remember Apollo Creed from the others? Well, Rocky and Apollo are really good friends now. And Creed wants to fight Drago. Alright? Creed is old, Drago, nobody's ever seen him fight. But he kills Apollo Creed. Apollo Creed dies in Rocky 4. In the ring. So Rocky says, I'll fight Drago anywhere, anytime, with no money. So he fights Drago in Russia on Christmas Day for no money. And he makes all that decision without talking to Adrian or anything like that. He's wanting revenge. And so this scene that you guys are going to get to see is great because it talks about the mindset that a boxer has, that a fighter has. And so he's talking to his son right before he leaves for Russia. And see what he has to say about the mentality of a boxer.